younger people. And so let's say you got a grandma or an uncle or just some old guy you know around the corner, kind of just sits around a lot, watches baseball, does the crossword puzzles, watches whatever the hell he does, but not a lot, okay? I would ask you to ask him to sit with you and watch this video. Greetings, my lords, my ladies. It is I, Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna Siva, Tantric Mystic Warrior Master, Buddha sent to save the world. And I need your help. You guys are the resident place for all of the resources. Some of you are so rich, it's not comprehensible by a common person, even maybe by you. You know, by the time you're a billionaire, if you have any kind of investments going on at all, you're earning millions of dollars, maybe even a day if you're a big enough billionaire, and not having to do anything because it's the
use the right lane to take exit 324 onto US 90
or the fruits of your inheritance. It doesn't matter where it came from. You, all of you collectively, the elite, the super rich, you know what you've got going for you. You live in a blessed place. Some of you understand that this is heaven.
Take the exit, then turn left onto US 90 West.
You live there. Your extreme affluence allows you to be master of your circumstance to a degree most folks don't comprehend. And consequently, that's almost like heaven, isn't it? You know, whatever you want, you get.
At the stop sign, use the left lane
to
turn
honorable
left.
space because you understand what a gift you've been given. I'm sure a few of you are dicks, you know, that's just the way it is.
Turn left.
Well, get a couple of these and a couple of those in any given batch. I'm not really talking to you guys, because most of you have learned and that to maintain what you have to keep putting out, keep managing it, keep people in line
For
with
18
what your
miles,
directions are.
continue straight.
You may well be extended to the extent that you can be. The people I'm addressing this to is all you old men and women out there who don't do anything. And I mean that literally. Some of you just don't do anything. And you're able. I mean, I see, you know, I'm this Empire guy. I got the Empire thing here. This is not by chance. This is a gift. This job is such a blessing for a guy like me because people welcome me into their homes and I'm not saying they treat me as one of the family, but in order for me to do a good job for them, and I'm really there to help them, they share things with me that they wouldn't tell anybody else. They bring me into their house no matter how dirty it is because they want to fix it, so they're seeing me as the guy that can help. The beauty of being able to come into people's homes like that is you kind of get to see the mainstream of America and how it's doing without anybody even realizing that that's part of what you're doing. You know, I'm the carpet flooring guy, so anything else that I might be doing from the standpoint of assessment of the station of the people that I'm visiting is transparent to those folks, as it should be. I'm not there judging anybody. I'm just there gathering information so I can share stuff with you. An inordinate number of you senior citizens just stopped. I think you figured you're entitled. Well, I worked for 40 years, I'm entitled to stop. Well, that is a difficult argument to counter because our whole culture is based on work for X number of years and then retire. Now, when that was done, when that idea first, you gotta be with where the ideas you live with came from to see whether it might be time to reassess the idea, okay? Back when the notion of vacations and time off and retirement started to appear, was as we moved in through the Industrial Revolution, where people knew that they didn't have the land. In other words, we weren't farmers, we weren't fishermen, the bulk of us anyhow. And you needed a way for those guys to have a good deal going from when they're older. So retirement programs were kicked into effect, and the idea was that you work X number of years and then you don't have to work anymore. From the big picture of things, even though that may make some sense, the problem is you guys are at your best when you're old. You may not be able to run, 100 laps, 100 yards in 10 flat. Of course, not very many people can. But all the rest of your stuff, your disciplines, your skills, they're at their peak. I mean, some of you, especially those of you who get farmed out, my circumstance was when I was in industry, is I was always at these front end places. The last 4 companies I worked for were selling tip of the iceberg technology, and those are always volatile. 1 burned down, 2 got undercut, and that just is. It's part of the experiences that you take into being an old guy. Is all those things that didn't fly. I remember when I was a kid, it was a thing about Abraham Lincoln, and I want to say that my memory says that like he had 16 failures or 22 failures, didn't win a damn thing, and then all of a sudden he's president of the United States. And when I heard that, the little voice in the back of my head said, yours isn't going to be that easy. Tougher job, okay? His job was to save the country, my job is to save the world. Same resolve. We live in such a blessed time, I have to find to confirm the name of the book. And it's a book, thick book, small print, and it's supposedly filled with important writings. So how important do those writings have to be to get in that book? I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I opened the book like in the middle, and in this much space on that big page was Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. So if the Gettysburg Address is on page 158 or some nonsense like that, holy mackerel, what must be in that book? Huh? So in deference to all you guys, young and old, I am going to look in my library, because I can't remember off the top of the head of me what the exact name of the book was, and whether it was a collation of things by a news media place, a publisher put it all together. I don't know that, and I'm gonna, to help you get it right, I want to get the title right. And I will do that, okay? Sometime maybe even tonight, if I remember. Okay. So anyhow, talking to old guys. I fall into the crazy category amongst you guys. I'm sure a whole lot of you will say, oh, he's just insane. I mean, the fuck he thinks he's some kind of Buddha saving the world. Nobody does that. Well, of course, we know that's not true, right? Because all those guys you look to with deference, who were Buddhas of record, let's call them, they started out just like me. We all start out the same, crawling out of a woman, fighting and coughing and kicking and spitting and hoping that the system will sustain us long enough to where we can kick in on our own. And, even the best of us, it's hard to do that much before you're a teen. Trying to imagine a 5-year-old kid trying to make it on his own. It's just hard to imagine that happening for them without a lot of problems in their life. Of course, if that man or woman comes through that, we know they are going to be one hell of a resilient human being. And very often, with the deep heart, the ones who really...
In 10 miles, turn left onto Southeast County Road 245.
They, too fast, too soon. I thought they were talking about now. Okay, not yet. I got her turned down to try and minimize the interference that comes when we're talking and she comes on. I think, these GPSs are just such a wonder of technology. You can pick the voice that you want. My son, he has an Australian girl. Every time I hear it, I just crack up. Think about the gifts that you've been given in this great world that we live in. You can fine-tune the voice of the girl talking on the GPS, for crying out loud. I mean, who would have even thought about GPS, more or less fine-tuning the voice of the girl giving you the information? Oh, right. So much is going on. So now, here, this is addressed at you old people. I don't know whether you consider me a peer, a kid, or an old guy. It's going to depend on how old you are. If you consider me a kid, then you may have the furthest to go, because your roots, the information that was used to develop the core of who you are, was done a long time ago, and not a lot was going on that people were aware of. All this mystical stuff was virtually non-existent in the public domain, in the United States anyhow. I'm talking from a kid born here in the United States, and that most of the people who are going to listen to this, at least in the initial rounds, are here in the United States, because that's where I'm emanating from. And the first thing I want you to do when you finish listening to this tape is put me in your phone and send me to your friends. All you old guys, you need to come on board. Remember, I was 2 tapes back, I was saying to those monks, get up off your ass and come on out and join the world. This is 2020. Stop bickering about stuff that happened centuries or millennia ago, and just look at what's going on in the world and see how we can fix it. All your hate, all your racism, all of the stuff that fall under that general umbrella of angry, pissed off people without skills. You understand that, don't you? Angry, pissed off people without skills. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. You goofy fucks who are killing people in the guise of something that you believe in. Because if we eliminate the guys who don't believe what you believe, the world will be a better place. It's not true, guys. Because you've come to the point now to where the whole world is pissed off. Everybody was willing to give you some license in the notion of deference to freedom of religion. Have your own religion, do what the hell you want with it, dance naked in the street, nobody gives a shit. Until you start saying that my religion, my religion gives you the permission to kill people who don't believe in your religion. You guys hold the key to the transition of the world's energy from the nonsense it is today, with gazillions of frightened people not doing anything and just creating more and more powerful governments and police forces and all the other stuff that is used to purportedly to curtail pain or crime and shit, and it's just used to keep you guys in check. Let me have a sip of this now. We got a couple more minutes, and I want to use it. Most of you are so disadvantaged, it's just terrible. If you're a young person who has this thing, and your grandma or grandpa doesn't have one of these high-tech phones, I'm using an iPhone, 6 or 7. I had an Android before, all these are, and there's, everybody's making magnificent phones. I happen to like this one because it allows me to do this, and I never was able to figure out how to do this properly on the Android that I had before this. My understanding is that you can, but it just seems to be easier. Okay. But old people don't have this. Matter of fact, they have it. Oh, buy the simple phone. Any dumb shit can use it. And you old fucks go, oh, isn't that wonderful? They made a phone for us, Bill. Golly, us ignorant fucks who can't read, we can live with just, and the numbers are big, Bill. Oh, yeah, us old fucks can see them. You know, that's a goddamn insult to all you people. They treat you like you're fucking invalids, mental invalids, and you're not. You know what you... Take that piece of shit phone that you have, put it in the garbage. Now, don't do that. Save it someplace for an emergency number. Go to the phone store and buy yourself, assuming you have the means. I mean, if you're on your ass and you're barely eating, then we need to then use whatever phone you can get. But let's assume you're like a lot of old people. You got so much money in the bank you don't know what to do with it, and you're afraid somebody's going to take it. Oh, somebody else is going to take it. And if you let them, they will. A lot of people prey on you old guys. We as a society don't do enough. Don't do enough to prevent that. But why do you need a big phone? Because you need to know what's on it. This phone that I'm talking to, I believe it's an iPhone 7, could be a 6, iPhone definitely. My understanding is that there's more computational power, if you knew how to access it, in this little phone than existed in the whole world during World War II. You deserve to have that in your hand since it's here. If it wasn't here, then it wouldn't matter. So here, I was talking, I don't understand all you racist, bigoted fucks. I just don't. So we're going to keep banging at you because I want you to explain it not only to me but to the world. I mentioned yesterday it got interrupted a little bit by the GPS lady. But I was watching TV, and I watch it late at night. For some reason, I'm a night person. I've always been a night person. But now we have all this incredible stuff on television, and they were doing a documentary on communication systems as they influence a society. And they were focusing on hate stuff. And one of them was an Islamic grammar school. And these were small kids. I can't imagine much more than second or third grade. I'd be amazed if they were in fourth grade. They were little people. And they were singing a song about killing Jews. I played it back a couple of times. I was trying to wrap my head around who the fuck set something like that up that would poison children's minds against any people that live on the earth. I mean, you hear them, they say, oh, God's children, but except for them fucking Jews or those fucking Arabs or those fucking whatever they are. The hell's wrong with you people? If your clerical hierarchy is teaching you that shit, go find another cleric.
In 1 mile, turn left onto Southeast County Road 245.
You don't need that. The world doesn't need people who have hate. Some of you guys, I don't know why I'm focusing on the Jews, I guess because there's so many of you people hate them. A lot of you don't even know a Jew. How the hell can you hate someone when you don't know them? There's in some parts of the world, it's just extreme. And these are fucking farmers. How the hell could you have been personally affected by something that a Jewish guy did? And even if a Jewish guy did something, that's just one guy. You need to drop back and say all God's children means all God's children. Stop the hate rhetoric against all
Turn left onto Southeast County Road.
Specifically against the Jews, because that's the ones you hear it the most of. So here's a challenge for all you guys who hate. All you haters. Come up with a reason that makes sense.
At the light, turn left onto Southeast Bayou Drive.
To where, remember I said reason. I base my life and the response to it by reason. And hate is not a reasonable act. Hate is a lack
In a
of
quarter
skills.
mile, turn left onto State Road 100.
And you guys have been around for so long. How can that still be going on? All right, that was a little sidebar. Now
At the light, turn left onto State Road 100.
You're kind of part of this, aren't you? Old guys, you're kind of part of this. All the hate in the world
In half a
lives
mile, turn right onto
in the
Southeast
hearts of old people.
Road 245.
Young people adopt it. You know, if grandma and grandpa hate those fucks, well then they must be hateable, right? Isn't that the logic? If the old people, the elders, the ones who are supposed to be guiding the youth of their nations toward prosperity and love and harmony with the rest of the world, you know, you can fly anywhere probably in 12 hours. Or maybe, let's say it takes the whole
At the light,
day.
turn right onto
Christ,
Southeast
take a
County
lifetime.
Road 245.
We need to help you start realizing that you're operating on a system that was created centuries ago by people who didn't know shit. Just what it is. Knowledge has doubled so many times since the rules you live by were conceived.
Turn right onto
They're
Southeast
basically
Plant Street.
gibberish. If part of your system is hate those fucking whatever they are, your system's fucked. Get another one, or let go of it completely. There's only
Proceed
two
to the route.
squares that,
Proceed to the route.
There's only two
Proceed to the
squares
route.
that I want to
Proceed to the route.
Turn around. I went past it. There's only two squares
Proceed to the route.
that make sense for a man or a woman as far as a belief. If you have to have a belief, either believe that it's all God or that there is no God. Everything else is just a bullshit attempt to define.
Proceed to the route.
You can't define.
In 1.7 miles,
It is
turn left onto
beyond
Southeast Yankee Terrace.
definition.
Proceed to the route.
It's up to you to say, well, wait a minute. We believed this since the beginning of time. Well, anybody with shit for brains knows that since the beginning of time, the world has changed so many times that you can't even comprehend it. That's why you're supposed to.
In half a mile, turn left onto Southeast Plant Street.
So you begin to understand what's going on. If I hadn't have been watching that, I wouldn't have seen that Islamic classroom. Because who didn't? You know, we don't show that, but they seem to be pretty proud of it. They had a big film. Oh, all the instructors were smiling. They were grinning, you know, from ear to ear. Who the fuck does that?
Turn
Guys are
left onto
fucked in the head.
Southeast Plant Street.
Stop it. It's not hard. Just one day look in the mirror and say, am I really this disgusting, racist, bigoted fucking piece of shit that would personally like to see the world go to shit? Because that's what you do. That's what you're looking for.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto State Road 100.
I need to change this thing. So, well, that'll perk things up a little bit, huh? Maybe? That's my job, perk things up, get you off your ass.
At the
get you
light,
off dead
turn
center.
Turn
Stop
right.
thinking like a
Then
fucking
turn
idiot.
right.
Start realizing that this is a wonderful, beautiful place that we live in, and it's up to us collectively to make it worthy of the divine species that we're becoming. And the first thing we do is we stop the hate. Stop the hate. Doesn't do good to be hated. I'm gonna let go because I'm coming where I'm going.
Turn right onto Southeast Plant Street.
I think I'm gonna probably do a couple more. I seem to be inspired. And it's BHAGWAN's time. I'm going to share a bunch of thoughts with you on what that means. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you for being there.
In half a mile, turn left onto Southeast Rachel Way.
I got a minute yet, but that's just milking it. Thank you for being there, guys. Understand, as I do, it's all coming out. It's been contained for so long because I couldn't let it out. If I would have let it out, I'd have gone insane because I wouldn't have been able to vent it. My wife
Proceed to the route.
would have been an impediment to my
Proceed to the route.
So now we're
Proceed to the route.
working on that. Love you guys. Talk to you later.